right, let's get started. So, first of all, thank you for doing it, Matt. I really
Yeah, thanks for
appreciate it.
inviting me. I appreciate it.
No
Yeah, I'm
problem.
a big fan, so
I appreciate that.
All right, let's get started. The
Oh
first
yeah.
question I always ask to football fans: how did you become a Green Bay Packers fan?
Like for me, it was not really a choice in my house. Everyone's Packer fans. I was
Okay.
born in Green Bay, but I lived in Fond du Lac, which is a different city in Wisconsin. But my family is all Packer fans. We watch football every Sunday. I don't think it was allowed to try to root for someone else. Like it was almost like born into us. So for me, I always say it wasn't a choice.
Oh, nice, nice, nice. Yeah.
Yeah, same here. I'm in Milwaukee, so there's not really much
Yeah, I
of
wish
a
I could say
choice.
the same thing, but my brother is a big Niners fan. So,
Yeah, that's rough.
yeah, it is. It is rough.
Yeah, when we're doing live streams and we're playing, his brother will come in and if we're losing or something, we'll start talking.
He always does that.
Oh, he'll open the
So, yeah,
door. How the Packers doing?
oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, you're right about that. Yeah, how did you get started in all the YouTube channel and all that?
Um, my first started doing like video content was Vine. Used to be an app back in the day. I don't know if you guys remember that.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah,
I
I
remember
do.
Vine.
The
Vine
the,
was the
the
good old days of the internet.
yeah, the 6 second videos. I was just mostly back then. I was just doing like the eye jokes I do. I make my eyes do weird things,
Okay.
and and that was pretty cool and it was fun. But then Vine started to wear off. It was kind of dying off, and so I just kind of quit it. And then my son used to do graphics on Instagram. The player edits and all that. And
Mhm.
so I made a meme page just so I had something to like talk to him with about, and I was just like, this is kind of cool. And then the meme page started doing pretty good. But after a while, I got bored just making memes, like it was Packers memes that was called. And so I was like, I'm gonna change my whole thing, change my name, and start doing like video content about the Packers. And it wasn't my idea, but my friend, the Green Bay guy, I don't know if you guys follow him.
I
My
followed him.
friend Ben. Yeah, he's the one that gave me that idea. He's like, hey, you should just start doing video stuff, about the Packers. So then I did.
So
But when I first changed my name, they're like everybody unfollowed me because it was Packers memes, and I changed it to like me, and they're like, who's this guy? Get him out of
Really?
here.
I
Yeah.
think
But
I
then
might have been following you then when you were Packers memes because you randomly popped up on my page and I was following you already. So
yeah, I
that
changed
was
it at
years ago.
first. It was
That was
Matt
a
the
while
Packers
ago.
guy, and then eventually I changed it to my name. But yeah, I didn't have any. I never had I never like had a goal to like start a podcast or like do anything. It just kind of started to slowly happen. Like it just made sense. I was started doing video stuff, and some players followed me because
Really?
I think from the memes, and then when I switched, some followed me because I mean I'm pretty positive. I just have fun. I just joke around.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, and
Yeah, I've
then
still
so
heard
then
things about your content. So
I appreciate that. Yeah, and so then when I started doing podcasts, I was like, dude, I'll just DM them and see what happens. And then I DM'd some players, and some of them said, yeah, they do my podcast. And like I
Really?
didn't,
Wow.
yeah, and I had no idea what I was doing. Like I was asking weird
hey,
questions. Like I was just just going
hey,
for it.
it's all natural with the flow, and you get the best genuine reactions and conversations like that sometimes. So
I have a question. So, what do you ask the players to come on to your podcast? Dude, I've been sending DMs out like crazy to all the players on the Packers. I never got a response back.
One thing I always tell them is that um like I'm not the media. I'm not trying to be the media. Just a fan who wants to talk and get a fan's point of view of
Mhm.
it, and it's all fun. Uh, but most players don't respond. Like they either don't see it or some of them are just not interested in doing a podcast.
Yeah.
Uh,
and I'm
it's
pretty
not,
sure half of them don't even run like their own social media accounts as well. So
yeah, some of them don't, and yeah, some of them like Kenny Clark is a really nice guy. He's on my podcast.
Oh wow.
a few times, and I give props to Kenny Clark because he did my podcast like 3 or 4 times now, and the first time I thought was horrible, like from my side, like because I was cool, and I was just like it was like on a speakerphone, and I had a microphone pointed at it. I didn't have no like StreamYard Zoom. We didn't, that wasn't really a thing then.
Yeah.
I don't remember, but when I first started, I definitely wasn't using any of that, and but so like when he did it like the second time, I was like, oh, I gotta be really better this time, and I did get better from like every player interview you have. But my thing is like I always just try to be fun because there's people who are really smart who like ask all the good questions and they're like reporters and they're
Yeah, of course.
they do all that. I think that there's a spot for that for sure because we need those guys to
Yeah, we do.
get all that information. But like for a fan, when you get them, just I always think just ask what you want to know because you're a fan. Other fans,
Yeah.
or even if they don't know it yet, they want to know that same question, and then basically just try to have a conversation.
Well, how many players have you interviewed?
I don't know the exact number. I would guess somewhere around 15, because like
Oh,
some of them
wow.
like they'll get drafted, and I would hit up every drafted player. I would DM them all and be like, "Hey, you want to come on my podcast?" And sometimes they don't want to right then,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
then it might happen later on down the road. Like if you ask and like I don't try to like bombard them and like ask over and over and over again.
Yeah,
I try to,
yeah. Of
but
course.
yeah, I've had Dominic Daphne. I remember having him on, and I was so nervous for that one. I kind of screwed that one up too. In the early days, I didn't prepare enough for like it's easy when you talk to like Preston Smith or even Kenny
Yeah.
Clark because I know of those guys. I know about them.
Yeah.
I've been watching them, and I know
Yeah, of course.
like what to ask. But like when it's a drafted player, and I don't really know a lot about them, so you research it. But like, what can you find out? What school they went to? And I'm not a college guy. I'm not a guy who watches all the college. So, I kind of weighed back about asking the college guys, the drafted players right away
Yeah.
until after, and a lot of times like lately they don't respond anyways. But the new players are the hardest players for sure. The ones you really don't know about because I don't want to ask dumb questions. I don't want them to be, like you have a guest come on and then you're asking them questions. You don't want in their head to be like, why'd I do this? What's this guy doing?
Yeah.
But that was one of my favorite things that I liked about your content, and what made me come up to Jay was seeing that you didn't have the quote unquote all the technology things in there, but you're just being a genuine human being, talking to these players and showing your passion and love about the Packers. Like that was very inspiring to see you go through that, and you also being very open about like a lot of your technical struggles and stuff.
Dude, I have so many problems. Like when I do, even now, like I use Restream, which is just like StreamYard, just a different company. And like I even now, like I can blow a fuse. I can't have. 'Cause I'm in my basement, and I got like a heater down here. If I turn the heater on, somebody that blows a fuse. But like even if I'm streaming from my house and I have a guest on, mine will shut down, but the stream stays on, and my guest is just stuck there. So it's such a weird thing. Yeah, so I'm trying to like figure out how to plug stuff. I got extension cords, so it's not all on one side of the basement. But it's such a weird thing, if you're a guest on someone's, then they're live, and then they're gone, and you're just stuck there. Like, hello.
I think that's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, I've always had like even before, like I say, before StreamYard and Zoom and all that stuff, you can like I would just use my my phone and just put a microphone to it. It's on speakerphone.
Okay.
Like if you really want to do it, you'll figure it out. There's
You
don't need all the fancy stuff. I always say that too, because when I first started, like everyone said, you need to have like those expensive microphones. You got to have this. Like you want to have good audio, especially if people it's a podcast who listen.
Of course, yeah.
But you don't need to have like the top best.
No, you don't.
Yeah, and even camera. Like if you have the right lighting. Camera, you don't need to have the most expensive camera.
Yeah,
this is off a laptop.
Okay.
Yeah, and then I'm on my phone, so
yeah, I mean I have another camera, but I tried to use my laptop one time, and I was this camera's not that bad if I get the lighting right. And then it's more like if I'm talking to someone, either my guest or if I'm on someone else's, I'm actually like looking. Otherwise, you're looking over here, looking at the camera, but the camera's pointed this way, so it looks like, and I already look like I'm looking everywhere else. So I don't need no help with that.
He said,
It's funny that you say you started on the laptop. Because I did the same thing when it first started. I just used my laptop, and it went fine for a while. But then my camera just cut out. So I was like, maybe I should get a desktop computer with a mic and a cam.
Yeah, like my first laptop I used wasn't good because the camera was trash. It was like it was like my wife's old laptop. Like now I have an Apple laptop that works really good. The camera's better, and I know how to use it because I'm not good with computers, but I'm good with my phone. And an Apple laptop is basically an iPhone.
Yeah,
so I kind of know. I kind of know how it works because I'm not technological, like smart, like editing and like I don't. People ask me like, "Hey, how do I get my podcasts on like Apple and Spotify and all that?" Like, bro, I don't even know if I could do it again. I don't know how I did it. I just YouTubed it and like went through steps. But I'm not.
Yeah,
like,
YouTube's a big help with a lot.
Oh yeah,
of
YouTube,
stuff.
man. If you have questions, YouTube's it because I don't know anything. I kind of just wing it and just kind of learn on the fly. I'm still learning stuff all the time.
Last year I learned how to do editing on my phone, and I do like I haven't done it too much this year because of me doing the podcast with Jay. But like last year, I did like a lot of like highlight compilations of after the Packers would score a touchdown. I would like screen record the highlights and try and put it together and then post it as fast as I can. It would like just for like a 1 minute video. Sometimes it would take like 30 minutes. just to get a couple of highlights together.
That's brutal. Yeah, I used to do that too. Like when for the game, but what I used to before I did like the game streams. Like now I'm live during the games. Before that, like when stuff happened, I would just record myself and like react kind of the same way. But I could post it right away then, like during the game, and then it feel like it got a lot better engagement than people were seeing it as it as it happened. So it was fast. So I think that helps a lot.
Yeah, I always say like for me. Again, starting off and still being a small creator, it's just networking is also the biggest thing. Talking to people, meeting people who do things better than you, and then can give that advice like back, like here, like Jay does, which is great to talk to all of these great content creators like you to get the insights of because everyone's different. Everyone has a different starting path and everything, so it's always great to get the insight. But I definitely say networking is the best thing, even if it's like someone bigger or and just don't be afraid, like Matt said, to just send a DM. You never know what could happen.
Yeah, I mean, if you ask, you never know. Like Andy Herman, when I first started doing like the videos and I want to do a podcast thing, I asked him for advice, and he basically said, just don't try to be like everyone else. Like be you, because like everyone like you say, like there's a pack a day where all the smart people go on there and like break down all the stuff and all that. So you don't want to do like what they're doing unless that's what you do. Unless that you watch film and do all that, then it's okay. But like you don't want to try to emulate what's working for someone else because it's not going to be you're not going to be as good. You just got to be yourself. And there's room for every type. Like there's room like Tom Grassi, how like what he does. He's like for him, he's like the mixture where it's entertaining, he's funny, but also he's smart and he can talk, with anyone about football. I'm not like an X's and O's type of guy. Like I'm not gonna be all like breaking down film, but like the third down, they were this and that. Like I don't, that ain't me. But like people like different stuff, they can get all the information there. So people should just be themselves, have fun with it.
Yeah, me and Jay kind of have that with our podcast. Is even though I watch football as well, he knows football way more than me, and I know the NBA. So I'm the NBA basketball guy, and he's the football guy. So when we have our podcast, we go back for that. He tells me what's new in the news in the NFL if I'm not doing it, when he has me do the research.
What I never do. I never do research.
So I guess I'm the X's and O's guys for our podcast.
That's why I always just have like guests on. Like I collab with people like Jimmy Christensen. He's on Pack a Day podcast.
Yeah.
He pretends to be dumb, but he's actually pretty smart. Don't tell him I said that. I don't want to be all here complimenting him. But he's always fun. I think he's a good partner. He jumps on once in a while. But I just think like if I don't know something, I'll just ask someone who knows about that, and then sometimes they might come on, sometimes they might not. But like it's just you just ask, and the worst they say is no, or they ignore you. I get ignored a lot. That's all right. I don't take it personal though. Like even like what if I ask a player, like if they came out and straight up and said no, I don't want to do your podcast, like I wouldn't take it personal. First of all, not everyone wants to be on a podcast.
No.
And their time is important to them, like they're with their family or whatever. They just don't want to, and that's okay. I mean, I would suck if they're like, no, I would, but your podcast sucks. That's never happened. Most of them either don't respond, or they don't see it, or they say no thanks, maybe some other time, and that's all good because I get it. People are busy,
Yeah, and then I think you take it probably that even if they see the reply, that you probably just appreciate the time they give to at least let you know or something.
Yeah, I think it's cool that I'm not sure that other fan bases have it where players do fan podcasts. I mean, they can only do so many because of the time, but they do like I'm just a fan. Like I work at a cheese factory. Like all the players that I've had come on, like they don't have to. They're not really gaining anything off that. Like if they go on a big podcast, they get attention. Maybe they get some Instagram followers or whatever. They know people are hearing them. But when they do a smaller one, they're basically just doing it to be nice, or hopefully they have a fun time doing it. But it's not like they're doing it for any type of for themselves. They're doing me a favor every single time. That's what I always say.
Yeah. They probably feel like somewhat normal too. Like that's weird, but I like to say, but like, people look at them like the athletes so gloriously, like, oh my God, you're doing this.
Yeah.
So they probably, when you invite them or they go on someone else's podcast and it's a fan, them not getting berated, like, oh, just sign this thing, please, picture.
Yeah.
You're actually talking to them, getting to know them.
Yeah, I think that's
stuff.
part of it too.
Yeah, I think that, and then fans get to see them in a different light, other than like Kenny Clark. You see him on the field, looks like a straight up murderer. Doing his celebrations, and he's jacked up, and he's just, but you talk to him, and he's so like calm, and obviously I don't expect him to walk around screaming all the time, but you know what I mean? Look, he's so
he's like
so
the
nice.
Definition of that meme, the chill guy meme.
yeah, he's just so like quiet, and he's just a cool dude. I think.
So, let me ask you this. Who is the biggest player that you interviewed?
The biggest player I interviewed, it's like a tie, I think. Clinton Dix and Preston Smith.
Oh,
okay. They're pretty close. Clinton Dix, he came to my house for a podcast. That was right after he got traded. He went to Washington, and then that off season, and then he came to my house and did a podcast. So that was probably the biggest one. First of all, that was like the first. I had Tom Crabtree on before that. Shout out to him. But Clinton Dix was like, that was a big deal for me, like to have him. And he's just so nice. Like he didn't have to do it. Like he came way out of his way to like come to my house. And
that's he actually awesome. Came over to the house.
Yeah. It was like a wild thing because I got dogs and they bark, and that takes a lot for them to getting used to people. So we like put them in the basement because like we have like a area, like a bar. But especially back then we had a bar. We had a nice little setup.
Yeah.
So, but we had to like try to like keep down here so that the dogs wouldn't bark through the whole thing. I was so nervous because I didn't have good like a setup. I had a trash laptop I had, and then the mic as he's talking, I could see on the screen the mic wasn't working. Oh. So I had like a blue ball mic, they're called. And I just kind of slid it over towards him, and I was just like, "Oh, hope that works. I hope this podcast is useful." Because he came all the way here, and like, "Oh, the audio didn't work. Sorry, bud." But it worked, and that was awesome. And then Preston Smith,
that you were posting on Facebook a lot about that.
Yeah, I was jacked about that. That was super cool. And then the Preston Smith one I thought was funny because I said I think I'm the only person that interviewed Preston Smith, and I was like like 6 beers in I was,
Oh wow.
because like
That's definitely drinking Wisconsinably right there.
yeah, because like
Oh
you
wow.
have to calm down. You know, Tom Crabtree, the Packers' former tight end, Super Bowl champion. He told me that one day. I used to be like, I get really nervous because I get nervous for doing not as much anymore. But he was like, just have a drink or two. And I was like, how about 6?
That's a lot. That's a lot of drinks.
No, but so I kind of I have a couple, and I don't know. I think it loosens me up, and that's just like that's what I do. Like when I talk to friends, like when I first started doing podcast, a lot of it was friends I met on Twitter or whoever, and that's what we do. We'd sit around and have a few beers and talk Packers. I'm like, why isn't it different for a player? I mean, obviously, you don't want to get crazy and be all like, you know, talking.
Yeah,
to them, like,
yeah.
but like just treat it like a regular conversation. And when I tell regular podcast, I'm not drinking right now though, so I don't always drink, bro.
We make him calm. Let's go.
Yeah, I don't always. People think I'm always. You know, a lot of times too. Like I do a live stream, I'll have a couple beers, and then after it's done, like I get ready for bed. I go to bed. I work at 4 a.m, so it's not like
ouch.
yeah, I'm not up there drinking hardcore every night.
So do you still keep in contact with these players like Kenny Clark, Preston Smith?
Yeah, a little bit, like not like texting or anything like that, but like I'll respond to like Instagram stories. But like during the off season, like this off season, I really haven't talked to. I mean, I think I messaged Preston and I said good luck, you know, whatever's next, whatever, because the Steelers moved on from him. But yeah, it's not really like I don't consider like they're friendly with me, but like we ain't like friends like we're talking all the time. But like they're nice to me. That's kind of how I see it. They're just cool with me. But yeah, but Kenny Clark, I actually messaged him because I was asking if he was going to be at the draft, so I could like interview him, maybe get a couple minutes with him. But I don't think he's going to be there. But hopefully at some point he'll come back on a podcast.
So I'm missing the draft,
dude. The draft's gonna be crazy. It's like going down there, like looking how everything is set up, man. It's almost like nerve wracking. Like, man, when you get there'll be so many people. You got fences.
There's a part of me that wants to drive the 2 hours just to see the setup.
Yeah, I've been trying to take pictures and videos of the setup as much as I can, like when I go down there. But now it's hard to even get close to it.
Yeah,
because like everything's all fenced out.
Stuff, yeah.
I don't even know if you can go to the pro shop.
Because I was gonna go to the draft. I looked up tickets and the hotel prices. I'm like, no. No.
Yeah, my son luckily lives right over there, close by, so I could stay with him, Uber over there. I don't have to worry about driving or nothing. Because I live outside of Green Bay a little bit, not far, but definitely not where I don't want to drive home at night.
No,
it's raining in Milwaukee today.
It is expensive.
Yeah, those hotels and the Airbnbs, everything, crazy.
Yeah, crazy. I'm like, yeah, I'm just gonna do the draft at home.
Yeah, there'll be enough people doing the video stuff. You can kind of see like what it is, what's going on.
And I feel like the draft is like a niche thing for people. Like as much as I would want to like experience the atmosphere and it being by the greatest stadium in, you can arguably say, sports history. Like just that environment and that atmosphere is gonna be so cool, and that's what I want to experience. Like, I'm not too much of a draft guy because I feel like after the first 2 rounds, I kind of start lulling away. But
yeah, well, that's the thing. Like the normal draft, like even when Jordan Love got drafted, my wife woke me up. I was sleeping on the couch. I was asleep. I'm not a big draft guy either, and she's like, "No, I woke up in time." She's like, "Hey, the Packers are on the clock. The Packers are about to pick." So I woke up and I was just like, and that was before I was like live streaming everything all that like I did.
Yeah.
And then they're like Jordan Love, and I was like, who's that? I'm glad, it worked out and whatever. I have faith in the Packers. But that's the thing is too, because I'm not the one. It's like I always think it's funny when people are like that pick sucked. If they know, they watch college and they know. I think that guy's better than that guy. I get that, but like someone like me. Like, I don't know. So, like, I'm not going to say, that pick sucked. Like, I don't even know. So, like, that's why they do it. I trust them. They're not always going to be perfect. But, I'm not a big draft guy. Like, on a normal year, if it wasn't in Green Bay, I mean, I still watch, especially the first couple of rounds what the Packers are doing. But
Yeah.
I don't sit there by my TV just locked in and seeing who the Browns are taking in the 4th round. Like, I don't care.
For
mention
me,
the Browns,
I
the
do
Bucks
follow
owners, the
football,
same as the Browns.
and I do know some of the college players that get drafted. So I try to tell my audience about those guys. So
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I don't know anything about them, so I can't tell them. Yeah, so you got a better setup than me.
Jay, who do you think the Packers are going to get this draft then?
I believe we're actually going to take a wide receiver in the first round this year, and that be Matthew Golden.
I've heard that name flying around. So.
Yeah, that guy. Or the defensive edge split. Is that fair? But my bet is the wide receiver.
Yeah, I thought that they're going to draft wide receiver in the first round. A lot of times, I feel like it's hard for me to be sold on it because they
never do.
They never do. But I think Gutekunst, though, that's like his thing. You know, ever see that meme, like, never let him know your next move?
Yeah.
I feel like that's what Gutekunst does. He's like, oh, no one thinks we're going to take a wide receiver in the first round? Boom, this is the year we do it. I wouldn't be shocked. I think the pass rush is
the pass rush might be. And there is a rumor out there that says the Packers might be traded up into the top 10.
Ah. Do you think that they could do that? I've heard people talk about up and then even back.
If we want to get one of the impact players, the team is already a good team. We just need one player on defense and one player on offense.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, okay. I agree. I think it all depends on who, how they, because everyone always has their mock drafts.
Yeah.
But Gutekunst, that it is scouts. They have their own, right? Of who,
they do.
So it all depends on like how they value certain players. That because I feel like a lot of times they value players differently than other teams. Because even like Rashawn Gary, a lot of the guys they drafted, they were once they a project player, but it was like they had plans for them. Like they take them, and a lot of fans at the time weren't all that impressed with it. Not just Gary, but like Van Ness, even like there's.
But the biggest one was Jordan Love.
Yeah.
When he got drafted, why did you guys take him quarterback? Why?
I got lucky. I saw a tweet that said that the Packers got a dog, and I was like, I felt like that was the only person that was being positive. But he watched Utah, so.
Yeah, I always say like I don't know, so I always just trust them. Then I go on Twitter, I look at what the smart people are saying, look at some highlights. But highlights, I feel like don't really tell you anything because the Packers will draft a guy, maybe a wide receiver, it could be the 4th round, and you look at the highlights, like, well, this guy is awesome because they're highlights. They're the best he's done at stuff. So I think it's hard to see, but you kind of get an idea of what the player's like, and if they don't have any highlights, then you're in trouble. So.
Romeo Doubs had the best college highlights that I saw. Yeah. That's when I got really excited for him. When I was like, "Who's this?" And I watched his highlights, and his highlights in college showed what he would be great at as a pro, and that's going to the ball. Like his catching and the hand strength that he showed in college to go to the ball instead of the ball coming to him. I was like, yeah, that dude's gonna be something. And
yeah. I love me some Romeo Doubs, and I still think he's going to do something. What do you guys think about this wide receiver group? Because a lot of drops last year, and Jordan Love was hurt, but I think that this wide receiver group, they needed them to step up, and I feel like that's what the Packers are kind of banking on. I mean, I think that they're going to draft a wide receiver, whether it's first or where it is. I think they're going to draft a guy, but I think they're dependent on these guys stepping up too.
Yeah, I feel bad for Christian Watson because when he's out there, he plays well for us. But with his injury prones, I definitely think this is a make it break year, especially for, I would say both. Even though Romeo Doubs to me has shown his play, it's now he had like 3-4 concussions last season, So like
Yeah,
there's like those injuries
Yeah.
that are just hanging over. But to me, they've been playing excellent. I guess the drops thing is just us being the youngest team in the league. I feel like, and then I feel like Jordan Love was kind of forcing a lot of those passes because of his injuries. Like he
yeah,
couldn't use a lot of the timing and rhythm to get the ball off. He had to laser. He had to
yeah.
laser those. He had to laser those things in there. So
Yeah.
even though Tucker Craft was great, I think he was the one that dropped the most.
Actually, no, it was tied with.
It wasn't
Wicks
Wicks.
and Craft. Wicks and
Yeah.
Craft.
With it.
And those are two guys that I think can be great. I think Tucker Craft's gonna pop off this year.
Oh yeah,
Every offseason, I don't know why I don't look for it, but I always one guy I'm like, this guy's going off this year.
yeah.
And Tucker Craft's that guy this year. And I'm not saying I'm always right or ever have been, but maybe this is the year I am right.
I was like,
But
yeah,
also
if he
with
didn't
the
drop
healthy
as many
Luke
things last year.
Musgrave, he's going to be a key. Luke Musgrave is going to be.
Yeah.
I'm
Having
super excited
two
for
tight
him.
ends
I'm
is
stoked.
good.
I'm so stoked for Luke.
Luke can stretch the field in the middle.
Yeah, you just gotta stay on his feet.
Yeah, if he's healthy.
Hey, that's still one of the greatest catches. He was able
Yeah.
to fall again.
And what makes me it's so funny is that Matt LaFleur in like a post game rah speech to the team after the game said he goes, "Hey, what a catch by Luke Musgrave, and he stayed on his feet."
Yeah,
And they're all like,
that was hilarious.
That was a
that's
good
good
one.
stuff.
I love Matt, man.
I have to ask you about another player, and my co-host might get mad at me about that. What do you think about the whole Jair Alexander stuff?
It's the stupidest thing the Packers have ever went through in the whole history of Green Bay. I stand by that.
I love me some Jair Alexander. I think I wonder like how much is like, when they talk about the locker room, cancer stuff. I wonder how much is true and how much is not, because if you're not in the locker room, like you just don't know. And I know some reporters have close connections; they kind of get the vibe inside the locker room. But it seems like they all love him. Like Jordan Love was just on, I think Kay Adams just talking.
Yeah,
He was talking with,
two
and
days
he
ago,
was
right?
like, yeah. I saw the clip and he was basically saying we want him. We love, it seems like they all love him. So
and then
I think it has a lot to do with the injury.
A week ago too.
Yeah, why wouldn't you? Like he's very good at football. Obviously, the money you're paying him, you want him to be healthy. But like, not like I don't think that he like didn't want to play. I don't think that they would have love for him like that. If you would know, if a player's like, no, I'm healthy, I just don't want to play, like some people think. I just don't feel like the other guys in the locker room are going to stand by you and be like, that's my guy, because you're like quitting on him, So I just don't feel like, and Jair's, his swagger, the way he presents himself, I don't feel like he's going to quit on his team. Like he's got stuff to prove for himself. So I would love to have him back, but they got to see what that injury is. Like, is anything that can be long-term, like career altering, or like, is he going to be slowed down at all? Like, I don't know. Cause I ain't no doctor, but if they believe he's healthy and they believe that he's good and everything in that locker room is good and everyone has love for him, then I would be all for keeping him. But I don't think that we know enough.
What if somebody offered like a crazy package for Jair? What do you think?
If someone offered something crazy and like we got a awesome pass rusher, and I just don't think that that's going to happen, because like his contract and it hasn't happened, because like no one's coming up, but maybe because they believe that the Packers will release him.
Yeah,
that's kind of what's been reported for the last since the offseason. So if teams think, well, they're gonna release him, then they're not gonna offer him anything good.
I also think this is like almost like Aaron Rodgers hoopla, like just people looking for something to grab on, and I feel like it was like a small little thing, and then one analyst or journalist took it, and now it's just stuck. Because if you didn't have the Jair thing, what else are you going to talk about with the Packers?
Yeah, you gotta have something to talk about. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers always kept us fed that way. You know what I mean? Like off-season talk. Dude, Aaron Rodgers, like if you're a podcaster in the off-season, it can be hard. But Aaron Rodgers always gave you something to talk about. But
Yeah, he didn't did this year.
yeah, they just got that drama over there with the Jets and how they split up. I saw that.
Yeah, but if you're gonna retire, if you're gonna play for the Steelers,
I thought
Yeah.
he went to the Steelers, but
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. I felt like the Steelers and I hate to say it, but the Vikings are his best chance to like play on a team that he could do something with. Because like the Jets, like he didn't have no offensive line. It's tough.
Yeah,
Older, aging quarterback needs to be protected. He needs a top, a good offensive line.
yeah.
Also
I was gonna say, what do you think if he went to the Minnesota Vikings?
I wouldn't like it at all. But like I'm saying, like from a perspective of him,
Yeah,
like I think that would be his best. I don't think it's gonna happen either. But I wouldn't like it. I didn't like it when Favre went there. I don't like seeing players I like over there. Like Aaron Jones is over there, and I just got over that. I love me some Aaron Jones, and I will never.
Over that yet.
Well, I wouldn't say over, but I'm used to seeing him over there, and I really do like Josh Jacobs a lot. I think he's a great running back.
Yeah,
but Aaron Jones, I don't think you get better of a person. Like, I met him at training camp, and like he came up to me, like he saw me, and I was like, oh, that's Aaron Jones. And I was like, oh man, I'd like to get a picture. And in my head, I'm all like, oh my goodness, Aaron Jones. And then he seen me and he recognized me because he follows me on Instagram. And he came up to me. He's like, yo, I love your Instagram. And I was like, oh my goodness, that is amazing. He's so nice. Like he was just, he's just nice. He wants to make everyone,
happy.
Like feel good or whatever. Like he's just 100% good dude.
Yeah, I still love that he still interacts with Packer fans a lot. Like I'm seeing him liking a lot of Packer pages on Instagram, commenting on those pages. So like even though he's a Viking, his heart is still here.
Oh yeah. I 100% believe that, and I do think that players seem to like playing for the Vikings. Like I don't like to say that, but like they're always voted. The players vote on their team. Like all the stuff. They always get voted high, and players go there. They just don't go there to win. They go there to have a good time.
Wisconsin has a rivalry with Minnesota. Yeah. Minnesota is a very great state, as much as it kind of pains me to say that.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing. Like I'm a trash talker. That's basically how I started too. When I started doing like the video stuff, it was just I hate the Bears, so I would always trash them. And then Vikings, I never really hated them like that. But then Viking fans would always chirp up and say stuff, so that I'd be like, all right, let's trash them too then. But I never like trashed Minnesota. I've never been to Minnesota, but everyone I've ever known that's been to like Minneapolis, like dude, it's like it's glorious.
You have to definitely go to Minnesota. I went there 2 years ago for my brother's art show, and all the people are nice, but the city itself, I would now again this because I'm biased because I'm from here. I like Milwaukee more, but it felt close enough to like that Midwestern Wisconsin like niceness, wholesomeness.
Yeah.
There. Yeah. So it felt very comfortable, useful, recognizable. Even though I've never been there, it just felt right. Like I belonged there.
That's the thing with me. Like I'll trash the Vikings. I really don't trash their state. Even like Chicago. Like I'll make the fib jokes like everybody does.
No,
but I've never been there. But I'm gonna say, but I've never been there, so I'm not gonna be like, this place is horrible. Like I've never been. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'll make the fib jokes every now and again. Because you go to Door County, you can't get the Illinois plates everywhere. And then they'll come on. This is the thing that irritates me. I go to Door County because I love Door County in the summer, and there's Illinois plates everywhere. And then I'll go on like social media, and then they're all telling me how they hate Wisconsin. We hate Wisconsin. We never come there. I'm like, bro, well, why are all your cars over here? Come get your cars.
How do you think I feel living in Milwaukee, and then we get all these people from Chicago that come up here just for them to be Bears fans, Bulls fans, and then try and enjoy the food that we have here.
Yeah,
and then trash talk us. We're not having it.
Yeah, and I wouldn't even care as much if they were like, yeah, we hate the Packers, but we like Milwaukee. We like Door County or wherever. But like they're like, no, it sucks there, and they talk all this trash. But like, no, we can see. I mean, I got one good eye. I can see, I can see the plates, the Minnesota plates, the Illinois plates are all over the place.
Really? Why,
Man,
if you don't like it, why are you guys always coming up on the weekends?
Yeah, messing up our traffic.
For real, dude. Like, the study came out last summer of like how like 56% of Milwaukee's traffic is from Chicago, from Illinois. So,
I guess it is good because it brings money into the
yeah,
state and all that for
Yeah.
people coming here. But yeah, don't trash it if you're gonna. You're gonna be coming up here. That'd be like I trash the Bears all the time. Then one day you catch me on a Saturday night wearing a Bears hat
all the time. This is the
There
great.
you
This is
go.
one of the greatest states. Let's go.
I love Wisconsin.
All
Oh,
right,
yeah.
I like because the reason I could joke with Illinois, but like I'm really big into like architecture, geography, and all that stuff. So like I don't like Illinois is one of the flattest states, and they're really only known for like peaches and like their fruits, and of course Chicago. Wisconsin to me is one of the most balanced states. Like as much as we have Milwaukee gets attention. There's Green Bay, there's Madison, there's the Dells, there's Brown Deer County, there's like Kenosha, Oshkosh. They all have like even though they're not big cities, they all have little quirks or something historical to them that makes them great and have culture.
And even like some small towns in Wisconsin, like you can go to some small little town that has like some crazy historic thing, and there's like 400 people living in the town. And those are my favorite towns. Like all they got is like 6 bars and a couple churches. You know what I mean? I don't know what the ratio is, how many bars you got to have in a town before you get a police station. but that seems to be like all they have. They no grocery stores, maybe a Quick Trip if they're lucky. If you get a Quick Trip in your town, you're moving places. You know what I mean? You got some numbers.
Matt, you gotta tell
small
Jay
towns are
how fabulous Quick Trips and famous they are in Wisconsin. Jay does not get like when I bring up like it's like almost like a meme in Wisconsin.
Yeah,
how like
it's
legendary
like
Quick Trip is here. That's why I was telling you. If you ever get an email from Quick Trip, take it. they're
Quick Trip is like
they're phenomenal.
it's like Wisconsin culture. It's like even if you're not on social media, because like obviously on social media it's like a big thing. They're hilarious on social media, but everyone because the Quick Trips are everywhere. Like I always make jokes like if you're driving, you miss your turn, you're going to Quick Trip. Don't worry, drive 2 more blocks, there'll be another one. Like you don't have to turn around. There's another one coming up. They're everywhere, and they're and they have what you need, like the walk-in beer cooler. Like other states don't have that. I didn't know that. Like other states didn't have beer so easily. Especially like Milwaukee, right? You guys can't buy beer in Milwaukee at a gas station, isn't that right?
No, we can.
Okay, good. Someone told me that, because I was at Milwaukee.
No, we can. I can literally go get some Modelo's right now.
All right, good. Like I was at somewhere, and I went to the gas station. I was like looking for beer. I didn't see any there. Like there's a liquor store down here or whatever. But I asked someone. It could have been just that gas station or whatever. But they were like, no, they don't sell beer in gas stations. I'm like, that's weird. Because every other, but I heard other people in other states say, like, they don't have, like, every gas station in Wisconsin pretty much has beer. Like, you could buy hard liquor at Quick Trip. You know what I mean? Like, they're little bottles. Grocery stores have a huge liquor area. Most of them, not all of them.
I think the only difference with Wisconsin, I don't know if every other state, other city in Wisconsin has this, but in Milwaukee, all liquor places close at 9.
Oh, yeah. Not here. You could buy, I mean, it depends the county. Like, I think Brown County, I think hard liquor is 9. Beer might be 10. But there's other places like outside, like up north a little bit. It's, I think it might be midnight. It all depends, like, on the county. I feel like the bigger the city, the earlier it is because they're like, all right, calm down.
Milwaukee, it's 9. They don't want people out there. But we have, I didn't notice, but like Wisconsin has like every grocery store. There's like 8 bars.
Yeah.
So we have 8 bars for one grocery store. So it's like, hey, you might not be able to go to the store to buy a beer or whatever, but
you can go.
Dude, there's
any bar.
There's a bar 5 blocks away in the middle of a suburb neighborhood, and then I got another liquor store 3 blocks from me. and then 2 more bars 6 blocks the way behind me.
Yeah, dude. Like even like a 4,000 person town have like 5-6 bars. It's like like they don't even have like they only have like a McDonald's. They don't even have like a McDonald's, a Quick Trip, grocery store, bunch of bars, and like 4 churches.
Yeah,
Like
Yeah.
that's all we need. That's it. It's a wrap.
Dude, one of the funniest pictures you'll see in Milwaukee that became famous is there's a school by me, and literally, not even a block away, it's next to a bar.
wait, next to school?
Yep.
Wow.
Hey, they gotta go somewhere. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
gotta go somewhere for lunch.
No, that's for the teachers.
Yeah.
That's for the teachers.
Yeah, but see, you guys are lucky. Where I live, we have no bars. We have like 15 Starbucks.
Oh, Starbucks. Yeah.
That makes sense for all like the Valley girls. The little
Yeah. I tried Starbucks once. I was like, why is this so expensive? Because like the Quick Trip, I get like a cappuccino at Quick Trip, French vanilla cappuccino, because I'm a fancy dude. I was at Starbucks one day and I'm like, yo, you got French vanilla cappuccino? Like, dude, go to Quick Trip with that. We don't have it. And then, but they're like, no, I can make you something like that. And then but it didn't taste the same. Maybe it's just too fancy for me. I never went back though.
The only thing I've ever had from Starbucks was those little like brownie things on the stick. They look like lollipops, but they're brownies.
Yeah, I don't know. I never.
Big Pop.
Thank you. Yeah, those things.
Yeah,
I
I've
love
only
it.
been in one a couple times, and I ain't go. I don't drink coffee though. I'll drink a cappuccino if I'm feeling fancy, but that's about it.
I got a question for you. Are you a Bucks fan?
I am, but I'm not a huge basketball guy. But I've been to Bucks games, and I that's one of the most coolest things ever. Like
Yeah.
someone just gave me tickets. I was like in the 9th row, and I
Wow.
was like, dude, that was awesome. But I'm not a huge basketball guy. But I will say basketball games, like if you have like a close game like with like in 10 in the last 2 minutes, dude, I don't think there's any sport that can really replicate that. You
Yeah,
know,
that
someone
intensity
coming for
that
that
it
win,
gets crazy.
especially if it's real close. If it's like every score is like 1-2, 1-3, whatever. I don't think any sport is like that at the end of a game, like excitement, like, especially like March Madness, like when it really matters. Yeah, I mean the NFL, their playoffs or their overtime, and they change the rules all the time. I think they just changed
Yeah,
it
yeah,
again,
they
but
do.
it's exciting, but it's not. I feel like it's exciting if it's your team. Like a
Yeah.
basketball at the end of the game, you can get excited about a team you don't care about either of these teams.
Yeah, like I'm a
But
Bucks
just
fan, but the
yeah.
play-in tournament happened this last week, and there were some close games, and I was like, I was so excited. But the reason I bring that up is the Bucks play the Indiana Pacers tomorrow for their first playoff game, so it's going to be exciting. So I was going to
Yeah.
see if you were going to watch it or not.
Oh yeah, I'll watch, but I would say I'm a casual fan at best for Bucks. But I'll say when the Bucks won a championship, that's why I didn't run around and celebrate. I was like, I'm glad because I support all Wisconsin teams, but I'm not gonna jump on now and be like, oh man, I was there.
Yeah.
All through all the battles. I mean, I was like, because I watched my brother, my family are big Bucks fans. They growing up
Okay.
before they were good, and but like I wasn't like ride or die, so I feel like if you're not ride or die, you don't get to really celebrate like that. I mean, you can celebrate, be happy, but like
Yeah.
when you've been through it, especially the Bucks, like they're like people who are like my age and like older, a little bit older, they've seen some stuff. So like to now have a team, they have a championship and have a good team that you can have a little bit of expectations with is pretty cool, especially for people. I'm assuming in Milwaukee, like they love the Bucks more than the average Bucks fan on this side of the state.
Oh yeah, the culture, dude, the Bucks saved the city, dude. Like no, like Giannis, the organization, all the new high-rise buildings we have, the road construction, like everything is I can literally say is because of the Bucks, like being such a winning culture. It's helped bring eyes here. It's also helped people reform their restaurants, rebrand themselves, have this new energy and excitement going on. Like, I don't know if people realize, but in the last 5 years, Milwaukee's been ranked for like the best in the top 10 best cities in the United States.
Yeah,
And like,
I mean, I do love Milwaukee. Like I was there with my son. He was gonna go to school there. He didn't, but we I the traffic though. I don't know how you guys deal with the traffic, dude. Like me and my wife almost get divorced every time. She'd be like, "Take me outside the exit. You missed the exit." I'm like, "Bro, I got a GPS. I don't." GPS told me to not do that.
yeah, I think what helps with Milwaukee people with the traffic, well, not me. Okay, that's me speaking. Milwaukee people hate the traffic, but again, I'm into like other states and geography and like stats and statistics. So knowing that Milwaukee has some of the best traffic in the whole United States, and we think it's bad, now I'm like, I try to put my shoes in like other states. Like the worst traffic in the whole United States, you think would be like New York or LA, but it's Georgia. It's Atlanta, Georgia.
Really?
Yep, has the worst traffic.
I wouldn't drive to any of those places.
Nope.
Milwaukee's the biggest city that I will ever drive in. Like that's where I peak. That's the top. If I was gonna go somewhere else, I would either I mean I maybe would drive like if I was gonna visit someone like in Texas, but I don't know. I wouldn't want to be driving all around to like, especially after I got there. I'd be like, let's Uber. I don't like even going to Milwaukee like because even like in the city like I don't know the streets, so you're like trying to like take a left and like I was over there and I was waiting to like turn left, but I wasn't in a turning lane, and then some lady like she just like, well, you stupid son of a, which I get. It's like if I would do the same thing, like if I was on my street, like I knew, and then some idiots over here, like, what are you doing? It's not a turning lane. Get out of here.
I was gonna say,
But,
if you don't like
yeah, you just feel dumb, you know.
Don't go to Waukesha then.
Oh yeah.
I just stay.
If you think Milwaukee streets are bad, Waukesha has the most confusing road map out of any single city in Wisconsin.
Dude,
Yeah,
that
I
is
don't think
nothing.
I've been there.
Yo, like Waukesha has like not U-turns, whatever, but like they'll have like how like you have like a straight road and then I have like that cutoff road to help you turn.
Yeah.
Waukesha has so many of those that go into other turning ones, and you're like, am I making a U-turn or whatever? Some of them go into like windy like side roads that were just connected to a main road. Like their roads make no sense. Like it looks like there's barely any signs. They're also bumpy as hell.
But I'm telling you, never come to San Francisco.
No, I don't think I will. That's
I
far
mean,
too.
Any city in California that's
Yeah, dude, I see like even in the movies, man. Like they have like how many lanes? Like 47 lanes of traffic, and no one's moving. Like what are you? And then the people like I drive 20 minutes to go to work. 20 minutes. It's actually 18 minutes. And if I'm late, 14. I really have it down.
I was saying, LA has a lane with like 12, as a highway with 12 lanes.
That's
wild.
How do you know what lane to be in? Like even in Milwaukee, I'll be driving in the right lane because like where I live, mostly all the exits are in the right lane. Except for every now and again. So I'll be like, oh, ready for my exit. And like, oh, the exit's over there, 4 lanes over. Like, son of a.
Yeah, and
I can't get over there.
I wish Milwaukee was able to control the highways because Milwaukee's been trying to upgrade a lot of our like train systems and upgrade the hop or our trolley. And Madison keeps turning it down. But Madison just approved for our whole highway system to get updated when we don't need to. They're reworking the whole highway on Miller Park, by the way.
Oh God!
Oh really? That's the only part that I really know. That's the only part that I've been to enough times where I kind of.
Yeah, they're redoing that. They're redoing that whole area.
Yeah, I just think I'm a moron though. I think people who know, what they're doing. I think the highway's probably all right. I just think that these people are crazy because like they be driving like so fast and like switching lanes and like, I'm Green Bay is pretty much on the average the biggest city that I drive in, and it's not the traffic is not. I mean, there's traffic, but obviously on a highway, but it's not like that at all.
Are they a lot? All the other people switching lanes and Dodges and BMWs.
Yeah, I know. It's like, dude, they're just going crazy, and then I'm over here just like white knuckling in my pickup truck, like, oh my goodness.
It's always the BMW and Dodge guys, dude. I don't get it.
They got to pay for that thing. They got to get to work.
Yeah, they gotta go to work to pay those expensive
Get
cars.
late.
though.
Hey, they bought a fast car for a reason.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, I had a question for you. How much is gas over there?
Where I am right now, I think it's about $3. I rarely pay attention to gas prices because like I always see people that complain about them, and not because I'm balling like that, but because it's like you gotta have gas.
Yeah, you gotta have gas.
Yeah, it's not like I'm be like, well, not today. Like I gotta get to where I'm going, so I just try not to, complain too much, or even like pay attention to it. Like, I just know I'm getting screwed. That's all I know.
Where I am, it's like over $5 a gallon.
That's craziness.
Yeah, it's like $2 to $3 in Milwaukee.
See,
Yeah, it's probably similar to like where I'm at.
Yeah.
It's like high 2s, early 3. I think it kind
Yeah,
of
actually like $2.92 or like
yeah,
$3.15 or something like that.
Dude,
I would love to have that cheap gas over here.
Whenever I get gas, like only time I look at like the price is if I pump it, and I feel like it should have stopped by now. Now I'm like, good golly, how much is this? Looking up at the side, like what's happening? I'm at $80 here. I can't eat lunch now. I'll just give it half a tank so I can get some lunch today.
I have to pay like $100 every 2 weeks.
Sheesh.
Yeah, that's the thing. I only drive. I go to Green Bay a lot because like I say I do like a half hour from there. But otherwise, if I just drive to work, it's like 18-20 minute drive to work every day. My wife works at home, so like we're not out traveling the world. Like gas, it lasts a little bit longer. But like lately, especially with the draft, going to Green Bay, and I'll drive all the way to Green Bay, take a picture of Lambeau Field, and we'll go home. Just so I can post it, try to do some video, maybe go to the pro shop. The pro shop though is addicting. Like you go there to like just make a video or do whatever. Like I might as well stop into the pro shop. Like,
yeah, I got a couple of things from the Packers pro shop in my room. I got a Jordan Love jersey, the small mini backpacks that girls wear, but I got the guy one that wasn't pink.
Yeah.
I think you would love pink.
I like pink. I almost thought about getting it though, but the reason I didn't get it is because instead of having normal Green Bay Packer logos, it was like Packer logos and hearts.
Yeah.
But it was this one. Ooh, not my cup pack. But like this one.
Oh, all right.
Okay.
Yeah, I think my wife has one that's like all bedazzled. It's all sparkly. Like you couldn't get lost in the woods with that thing.
Put a flashlight on it. It shows everything.
Yeah, like you be seen from space in this thing.
Oh yeah. and I also saw that you interviewed Tom Grassi.
Yeah, Tom Grassi.
Yeah, how did that come to be?
Well, he followed me on Twitter, and like I didn't talk to Tom Grassi for like a long time. Like he's one of the first people I've seen. I mean, everyone's seen Grassi, especially if you're on YouTube.
Yeah,
and, but he wasn't like he is now. He wasn't all that huge back then. But I just liked the way he did stuff. And then after I was doing it, I remember how he came in to like follow me or interact with me. But I just asked him. I didn't really know if he would because he pumps out content so much that he's busy. And then I think he was still a teacher then.
Yeah.
And then so then he said yeah, and I was kind of nervous for that one because especially back then I was nervous all the time for anything I did. I could interview my neighbor, and I'd be nervous because you don't want it to sound stupid. But when I always get more nervous, like if I'm talking to someone who does it at a high level, like Grassi's really good at podcasting, so then he would know if I suck. You know what I mean? Because like if it's a podcast or someone who does video stuff, like they know right away, like, oh, this guy sucked. I mean, I don't think he thought that, but that was kind of in my head, like at that time. Yeah. But it was good. I learned a lot from Grassi, I'll say, and just like how much good he does. I try to do it. Like I can't do it obviously on that level, but I try to do stuff. Like I have a Cameo, and I give all that like to charity. First of all, I don't want anyone to pay me to make a video for them. because I feel like that's kind of douchey. Where I'm like, yes, I'll make a video. It will cost you $10. But so like little stuff you can do, even if you can't do the big stuff. And then someday, hopefully I figure it out where I can do. I don't even know how he like puts that all together. It's so crazy.
Well, he does have a team.
He has 3 editors now. I was gonna say 2, but he has 3
No,
editors.
He has 3 now.
Yeah, I said 3.
Yeah.
3.
I need to get me an editor. That'd help out a lot.
Yeah,
but I need someone who like will work for free.
Yeah, Jay's using my editor right now. So
your editor, I paid him like money this week.
I've been learning how to try to do AI stuff for editing.
I was like, I pay him too, but that's the reason why I'm not posting stuff, is because I don't want to offend Jackson too much. By the way, he's the one I want to say thank you to, because
I know. Yeah.
So.
I think my editor reached out to you now.
Oh, okay, yeah. Someone reached out and said, you wanted to come on and gave me your number.
Yeah. That's my editor.
There you go, dude. You're, big time, because I don't have an editor. I edit on my phone like CapCut, and so like my live streams, sometimes I don't really like watching myself though, so it's hard for me to like watch it and be like,
like right there.
People might think it's funny, but to me, I look at it, I'm like, no, I made a funny face right there. I said a stupid thing, but if someone else obviously isn't so critical, or maybe they would be like, this guy sucks. No, but I think it's harder to do your own, and to like, if you have a live stream like an hour, like you watch it, it's just hard to like to skip, especially like I do it on my phone because I'm not good on the computer that much. I use CapCut, and but now they have like AI stuff where you can just plug in a YouTube link and it'll chop up some reels for you.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've been doing that a little bit.
Okay. I gotta do that.
Like Opus Clips is one of them. There's some other ones. I have a smart friend who's trying to like make me a program that does that, so I won't have to use one of those ones.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's next level smart.
There's this editing software I want to get where it comes with where it has a camera and it has a tiny remote that you can hold in your hands while you're like doing videos. If you don't like it, you can press cut and it does that, and it reforms back to where it was, so you can do that take again.
All right.
And it has it like, you can stop, record, go back, cut, like all that stuff. You can do that stuff live as you're doing it. And it's just like a little tiny remote.
That's awesome. Yeah, I noticed too that like if I'm live, I'll be like just say whatever and I'll screw around and I really don't think about what I'm saying, like trying to be perfect. But if I'm like doing a recorded video, I'll like restart it 19 times. Can't get past like the first sentence. Hello everybody. I'll do like a little stutter, like start it over, shut it down.
Yeah.
But if it's live, I don't care.
That was me for a Get Well video that me and Jay and a couple other people did for one of Jay's viewers who also has cerebral palsy. So I messed up a lot on that, and I did like 5 takes.
Yeah.
It took a long time to get your video to me.
Yeah, I think that's why live is like the best way to go, because like it just is like screw it, just go for it and just talk and just have fun and not try to be perfect.
I know you make videos, but what made you do live stream?
Actually, I think like probably Grassi, because like I was doing the video thing where I rant in my phone, on Instagram or whatever, and then when I was doing the podcast stuff, then I was like, man, you see Aaron Nagler doing live streams, like a lot of people are doing live streams, and I was like, I want to do it, but I think I messaged Grassi like when I first started, because I felt like I didn't want to be like I'm just copying this guy. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And then and he's like, no, he's like, I didn't invent live streaming. It's all good. Just be yourself and do it. Have fun. Good luck. And then that's kind of like, then I was like, all right, screw it. I'll just start. But like, I've seen him do game streams. Yeah. And I started doing game streams. So it does seem like where I'm like, yeah, I'll just try that. Obviously, I don't try to emulate what.
No. We have everybody has a different way of.
But yeah, I think that's how it is though. When you're big and you're like you're successful, people. You give people ideas, you inspire people to do it. Yeah, you just don't want to do it, try to be them.
For me, for me, I only had about 500 subs. But one day, I was live streaming a Packers game, and I got a crazy raid on my channel, and it was congressing.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Yeah, he
And
does
that's
that
how
to
I
you.
met,
Yeah,
that's
too.
how I met Jay too. We became friends.
Yeah, and Pippin can tell you that he was the one that came into my channel. He subscribed. That night, I went over 1,000 subscribers.
That's awesome.
So
Yeah, that's how dude he is. Yeah, because he even like does those raids. He
yeah,
raids me, dude. I'm like, because YouTube, I don't do numbers on YouTube, but when I live stream, I live stream on Facebook to 2 pages on Facebook to Twitch, which like one person watches. Shout out to that person. And then Twitter, and then YouTube. But YouTube only have like I forget how many subscribers. I think I have like 3,000, so 3,300 something. I
I'm
don't
one
have
of
a lot.
those subscribers.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it.
yeah, me
Well,
too.
not a lot of people are watching. It might be a lot of people on Facebook are watching. Like overall, I have a good amount of people watching, decent amount. But YouTube isn't. There's some, but it's not like it's like I'm killing it over there. But
I go
once
back
in a
and
while,
forth
like he
between
does
Facebook
raids,
and
and that helps a
YouTube.
lot.
Yeah.
A lot of people see me from.
Oh yeah, that does help a lot. That really
No,
does.
and I try to do the same thing when I can. Like I don't even know how to do raid. I don't know if he just pops a link in. I don't have obviously subscribers like that to do that. But I always try to do that where like on Facebook, if I see a content creator, I try to share their stuff, or on
Yeah,
Instagram
I
in
do.
the stories. I feel like you should if you're in a position where you can help someone, I think that's cool way to do it. That's what's cool about Grassi. He's not shy about that.
Yeah, I mean, for me, that he helped me. I like to pay it forward and help some other small content creators.
Yeah,
also.
for sure.
Yeah, and that's a like even though me and Jay are friends, like he's helped me a lot with allowing me to be on his channel and have my a platform myself to talk with fans and stuff like that. You know, being a Bucks fan, the NBA media, excuse my language, shits on us all the time. We don't get love, and that plays into other communities where it's like, oh, you're a Bucks fan. I'm like, well, we got the best player in the world. We
Yeah,
don't
I
play
feel like
dirty or anything. Like we're a pretty humbled team. Like why are we getting so much hate? You know, like
yeah, I feel like there's Bucks stuff could like be huge. I know there's a lot of Bucks content creators, but not like the Packers where there's
No.
like an abundance. Like the Packer content creator, I feel like there's more than I'll ever know. But like Bucks,
Yeah.
which I know there's a lot because people love the Bucks, but I feel like that is a spot where you could have your own vibe and
I literally
grow
know
from that.
I know all the 8 top pages in the Bucks community. I talk to all those guys as
Yeah.
much as I possibly can.
Right.
Yeah, there's not a lot. Like there is a lot of fan pages, but there's not a lot that get like 10,000
Yeah.
views and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
but I talk to the guys because again I was an Instagram follower for a long time. I just love Wisconsin sports and passionate about it. I like talking to people about sports. I don't really like this banter, even though me and Jay do it for the podcast. But like, I'm not doing that all the time. I'm not. Oh, that guy sucks. This guy sucks.
Oh, yeah,
like,
dude,
I like
that-
talking sports. You know?
That's the thing with me. Like people ask me, like Bear fans, be like, "Hey, you want to come on and have a debate?" I'm like, "No, I don't want to." Like, I'll talk trash. I'll make a video like the Bears suck and like do a little dance or
Yeah.
like screw around. But I'm not like trying to be like. First of all, like I don't care. Like if someone will come in my comments and be like, "Yeah, well the Packers had 2 Hall of Fame quarterbacks and only 2 rings." Like, yeah, I don't care. Like I don't. You're trying to hurt me. Like that doesn't do it for me.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I just don't care what you think. Not like I don't care what anyone thinks, but you know what I mean. I don't care where like some troll is trying to like come on and be like trying to hurt me because my team won 2 Super Bowls and your team didn't win any. For like Viking fans, don't say that. You
Yeah.
guys only have 2
Yeah.
rings with 2
That's
Super-
a Viking fan.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
That's
kind of like the Bucks with Indiana Pacers. The Indiana Pacers are an NBA franchise that have never won, and they beat us last year in the playoffs. But like, guys, we own you in the regular season records for our whole rivalry. That's not a rivalry.
yeah.
And then you guys have one good season. No balloons. You have one good season against us, and they're just like, yeah, we're better than you, blah blah blah. And I was like, get out of here with that.
Yeah, that's some trash talk is crazy to me because like I talk a lot of trash, but like if I was a Viking fan, or like you say, like a team that you know that the comeback's going to be championships and like
Yeah.
overall
Yeah.
record or whatever, and that you
Yeah.
know you just ain't gotten it, and they're like, oh, you guys live in the past. Like, where should we live? Should we live in the future? Because the present, your team still sucks.
Oh, that is hurtful. That is
Yeah, other thing I do is if like I'm live streaming or whatever, and someone comes in, I always show them the ring.
Yeah, there you go. That's
you
awesome.
show off.
Flex on them.
Yeah. Hey, but that's what gets them to.
Yeah.
But
Some
Matt,
still don't want to be quiet.
You just gotta hurt them where it matters.
Yeah.
Or if it's the Vikings, it's that one playoff catch.
Yeah. Dude, that's like one of my favorite roasts of the Viking fans. I thought the Viking fans suck so much when they win a playoff game, they call it a miracle.
Oh,
Because that Minneapolis miracle, and
yeah.
they always
Yeah.
talk about that. Remember the Minneapolis miracle? I'm like, yeah. Why do they call it a miracle? Because you guys won a playoff game. All right, calm down. Then what happened?
Yeah, they got.
Then they went into mediocrity for almost a
Dude,
decade.
But dude, I'll say that was a crazy ending to that game. That was
Yeah.
so.
Oh yeah, it
stupid.
was.
I couldn't believe that.
I remember.
It hurt me.
I remember when that happened.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Still one of the greatest crowd pops of all time.
Yeah.
I'd say that's like as much as I like the sports, that is like one of my favorite things. Like this season, I thankfully had the great opportunity to go to every single Bucks home game this season.
Okay.
And that's like the thing that I just kept thinking of was like just the crowd, the energy. And then I found out that the Bucks are the number one team in arena atmosphere in the NBA.
All right. Yeah, I've only been to. I've never been to any basketball game, but Bucks games are fun. Like we had like, I forget what section it was, but we had a spot we could go up and get food, and there's drinks up there. It wasn't, you didn't have to wait crazy time. It wasn't like you were missing a big chunk of the game. And seats are all comfortable. You're all closed in, and like I was pretty close. They're just it's fun. Like I said, I'm not a huge basketball guy. Only reason I know any rules is because my kids play basketball, like in youth sports. That's all. I was like, I got the rules because I saw my kid break all of them. But
Oh god.
but going to a Bucks game, there's like such high energy, and then like that thing on the top, that section on the top. I was like, dude, those people are having fun with the lights all. Boom,
That's
boom.
where I'm in. By the way, I'm in the
Bucks
dude,
that
section. Yeah.
The first time that I went to a Bucks game, I got tickets to the same person all the time. We didn't know where to go, and they're like, "Yeah, just go to the top." So we went to the top, and then we go in. You start walking in, and everything kind of opens up. And I was like, "Whoa, this looks awesome! This is a huge party." And then we showed someone, and then you're like, "Yeah, get out of here. You're down. You're down a little bit. This ain't for you." I was like, "Oh, no," but I don't know if I would. They seemed a little too hype for me. Anyways, I was. I wasn't in like party mode. I was with my kid, but
I was like, yeah, we have to stand up every time the ball is in play and stay standing.
Yeah, it looks like from down there, it looks like everyone's just getting after it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're yelling hard. That's pretty much
the lights
party.
Are going.
Yeah,
a wild party.
Yeah, I got rewarded this year for making every game. They gave me an autographed card.
No kidding, that's awesome. That's some diehard stuff right there.
AJ Green. Oh yeah, I'm a huge Bucks fan, man. Like, if people tell me which two teams, I love the Packers. I'm a diehard Packer fan. I bleed green, no matter what green it is. Okay?
No matter what ball they touching. Wait, that's not bad.
But I definitely am more of a Bucks fan than I am a Packers fan. But it's very like slight.
Yeah,
like,
there ain't nothing wrong with that. Yeah,
but hey, more people are Packers fans in Wisconsin, anyways.
Yeah,
they have to go somewhere.
I think my son, my younger son, probably is too. He's a bigger basketball fan of football. He loves the Packers, but I know that he likes basketball a lot. Like walking because I don't really watch it, and he'd be like, "You're not watching right now? What's going on?" Well, I'm watching MASH.
He's gonna make you watch tomorrow, that's for sure.
Now playoff time out. If I know the game's drawn, like I'll turn them on. It ain't like I'm like,
yeah.
But I just don't like look for it all the time unless I work.
Working tomorrow, but it's at 12.
Yeah, that's right when I get done. So
okay,
I'm sure it'll be on my TV when I get done because my son will be watching it.
Yeah, I was excited. I was at the
Dude, I
rally
hope they,
today.
so what do you think do they have good chances?
I think they do. I think the NBA is sleeping on us. I just think because we're not the number one or second seed, and the rest of the league has those expectations, especially with Giannis and Damian Lillard. But they again, Doc Rivers. This is technically his first full year with us, getting a lot of bench pieces. Chris Middleton being out in the beginning of the season, we weren't really to get our feng shui together. It was just off. So it took a while. Now we ended the season with an 8-game winning streak. So we were finding it. The ball movement was excellent. So I think we're still championship contenders. I think that we're in a good position because the rest of the league is sleeping on us and the expectations aren't there. So this is the
Yeah.
time, I think, the perfect opportunity for the Bucks to strike. So even though we're the underdogs, I don't be shocked if we make it to the finals. That's I'm expecting us to, even though I probably shouldn't do that to myself.
Every sports fan knows what
I
that
always
is.
do
But
that to myself about the Packers.
but with Bobby Portis missing so much, with sadly his grandmother passing away, him getting robbed,
That's messed
and
up.
then
Ouch.
him getting suspended for 25 games for his assistant accidentally giving him the wrong painkiller.
That's
Uh,
crazy. That's a
and then
bad
there's
run there.
athletes in the NBA who have gotten
That is
domestic
crazy.
the violent stuff that are still here and they didn't get suspended that much. It just made the NBA look really bad. But there's been so much going against the Bucks this season that we are now finally getting to it. And I think the disrespect the media gives Giannis and Dame, Bobby Portis missing a lot, so he's fresh. A lot of them cutting out Kevin Porter Jr. and Jericho Sims. Like these guys have a lot of edge on their back. Even if they say like they don't listen to that noise, I as a fan listen to that noise, and they have all the motivation right now to do well compared to any
Yeah.
other team.
I think the media hates Milwaukee, hates the Bucks.
No,
And
it is 100.
if
I see
they
Jay.
they want Giannis out, like they always talk about it. Giannis
Look
gotta
at
go
Oh
here. He's gotta
God.
go
man.
there.
Look at Jay. Look at
Oh
Jay.
God. I gotta hear this again from.
Because he doesn't, Matt. He doesn't believe me that Wisconsin is the most ridiculed sports
Yeah.
state out of any other sports. They hated us when we had Rodgers and we had Giannis and Christian Yelich.
Yeah, they always want him out. They always want Aaron Rodgers needs to demand a trade. Giannis, he needs to go. He needs to not come back. He needs to go to this team. And like they don't want. You know what it is, because these reporters, well, like they come to Green Bay, whatever, for a Packer game, and they don't get to have as much fun. Like if they go to San Francisco, they got whatever type of club they want or whatever type of entertainment.
They don't got the
I think
privilege
that's what
like
it
we
is. I
do.
mean, not all of them, not every reporter, but I feel like when all those people come to Milwaukee's different. There's places to go. I don't know why they hate Milwaukee, but like I just feel like they don't like good teams being here. So they don't want to come visit. Like they don't like Wisconsin or something.
I think so. My theory on the Milwaukee thing is Milwaukee still kind of has that like weird Detroit like scrutiny over it from when we were really bad in the '90s. But like that's the '90s. That Milwaukee
Yeah, dude,
no
I remember
longer
the '90s.
exists. Yeah,
They used to like parents used to say like, "Dude, keep talking. I'll drop you off in Milwaukee."
yeah. Like Milwaukee, like
They had a bad
You hear Ernie
reputation.
on TNT say, "Oh, the mean streets of Milwaukee." Don't get me wrong. It's a big city. There's always going to be crime here. There's always going to be nonsense. But again, we beat the year we won the championship, and the year after that, we beat New York City by 5 city like tiers where they go and visit the cities and rank them. Milwaukee
Yeah,
won the best city in the United States twice.
there you go.
The reason I don't think people like it too is because sports happen in the winter. It's not the best season to be here in
Yeah,
Milwaukee. So they get the gloomy, rainy, snowy stuff, and they're like, oh, we're going to be here. A lot of the restaurants that are 5 stars are closed. They need to come to Milwaukee in the summer. Dude, Carmelo Anthony, who's never played for the Bucks, on his podcast said he comes to Milwaukee every summer. Loves it.
yeah. I think I did say that. Yeah, I think
Charlemagne the
Milwaukee's good.
God, Bill
Yeah,
Burr. Bill Burr said his favorite city is Milwaukee.
there you
Like,
go. He probably has a driver. No, no, he, no, he knows how to drive. He's from Boston. He's from Boston. He knows how to drive in traffic. That's just the pansies who live in the small Wisconsin towns. You see them on the highway with their hands like this, trying to holding on to the steering wheel, just praying.
No, I need.
But no, but people, yeah, people. I kid, but no, I think Milwaukee's is a good city, and I like it because I like history. Like you go to like even like some small towns like Marinette. It's kind of not a glamorous Wisconsin sound, but they got like the really old buildings. But like Milwaukee has that. Like you just walk around and it's just like you can just see the history. It's beautiful.
I forget the exact ranking, but we're in the top 15 for most historical buildings in the United States.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, but just because the United States government also, the reason that means a lot is because not just Wisconsin, the state, but the actual United States government has to recognize those buildings as historical landmarks as well for it to get finalized. And Milwaukee has like some of the most. I think we're like literally right behind Philadelphia, but we don't get the recognition, of course, of Philadelphia. So
we gotta go out to go get that bell. Go steal that bell.
I was gonna say Milwaukee and a Philly war would be funny as hell. Especially until Milwaukee and the Philadelphia 76ers already have a rivalry. Like I can't stand Philadelphia. Like I cannot. One, this might get me think, but I just think they have the worst fan bases in all.
Dude, they're crazy. The Eagles fans, they the whole thing with the Eagles fans, like, because I know Eagles fan, like I think in real life, like they're not, they're cool people or whatever, but like the one, like they got it like this hyped up about being, douchebags, basically being mean and like, it's not always just like not friendly. It's like they're stealing people's hats and they're throwing them off and it's just stupid stuff, like trying to start fights, and like sometimes they're just beating the crap out of people. It's like, to me, I don't know. That's just you go to a game like to like, root on your team. Like you shouldn't have to like fight for your life. You know what I mean?
The thing I hate the most though when people like when you talk about this and they're like, "Well, it's in soccer." I'm like, that's not a good thing either. Like
people shouldn't be boxing, beating the crap out of each other in the stand just because you. I mean, I get like you want to talk trash, like have fun with it, but like I don't get like, the taking it to like that next level. Like I don't know. For me, like I go to Lambeau Field, I could be hanging out with a Viking fan sitting next to me, happens to be sitting next to me. Like I can hang out with him and drink. I'm not gonna be like, oh, you're wearing a different color jerseys. Now I gotta punch you in the throat.
Yeah, my grandma used to tell me about when she was a kid in the Yucatan, Mexico, and they would have soccer matches. Like there were people like actually killing each other.
Yeah,
how my grandpa was telling her how my grandpa would tell them like my great grandpa would tell them like to stay away from this area during soccer matches. Like a lot of the city would close off, like the city would lock down when there's soccer matches.
Yeah. I've heard the stories about them being next level, and now they don't even let them sit together. Don't they have to sit like different spots now? They're like, all right, let's try to thin out the dead people from when we leave and get a step over them. Let's separate them.
How's that fun though? Like that much. Yeah. That much pride. Go join the military for your actual country or something like that. If you're gonna,
because like I love the Packers.
Take it that serious.
But I'm not gonna be like trying to fight people. I'm like, bro, Kenny Clark, if he wants to fight someone, let him fight someone. Like I ain't. I ain't fighting, dude. No. I'm a cross-eyed fat guy. I don't. No fights lasting that long. I can't see nothing. And
only good times and laughs.
For real. Nobody.
All right. The final question I have is:
we went way off the rails.
Yeah, we did.
Hey, but that's the best thing about podcasting. That's what
it is. The final question is: do you have anything to say to smaller creators? What they should do?
Oh yeah, dude. I think I like talking about this too because I think more people should that even bigger than me. But if I was starting today, I would say just consistency. Like put out as much and be everywhere because like if you are like on TikTok and you're making videos about the Packers or whatever genre you're doing, and it starts to move a little bit, like you should try to like post those videos on Instagram and Facebook Reels so that it's everywhere. Like if you're in one spot and that spot goes away for whatever reason, then you're just out of it. And like as far as like podcasts, like live streams, I say have fun. Because like when I first started, it was always like, oh, what do people want me to talk about? What I want to sound this way, or like, I would like think about, but instead of just having fun, like if you're having fun, they'll have fun. Like you just have a conversation. You have guests on that you want to talk to, not like you think that this guest will get you viewers, but someone that you actually want to talk to.
Yeah.
Then the questions will just come, and a conversation will come because you actually care what they're saying. So I think having fun is the best. It's the biggest part because first of all, and if it doesn't get listened to or watched by a lot of people, at least you had fun. You know what I mean?
Oh
That's kind of how. Because even my stuff now, it's not like I'm not Tom Grassi. Like I'm still trying to do some stuff. I'm doing some cool stuff, but there's still like a lot I want to do. But I think as long as you're having fun, like that's why I like have Jimmy on and like all the time because he's like someone who he's kind of like me. He just talks trash about himself.
Hey,
he
if you
tries to
can't
make
laugh
it
at
seem
yourself, then you can't laugh at others.
Yeah, that's the thing because like people always say that about me because like, oh, you're self degrading this and that. I was like, I'm not saying it because like I'm like I don't turn off my camera and be like, oh, I hate myself. I'm not like doing it to like as a serious way. It's more like, but like I do think that if you're gonna make fun of someone, it should be yourself, not anyone else. I would never make fun of someone else. Unless it's my friend, then
But
that's what I always tell. If I'm nice, if I'm nice to you, I either don't like you or I don't know you that well. And if I'm mean to you, then you're probably my friend, or I might hate you. I don't know, but
I do the same thing to catch it.
Yeah, I think that's what you do with your friends. I mean, within reason, but you trash them.
We have a love-hate relationship.
Yeah, I always say like you trash them to their face. And you're nice when they're not around.
Yep. Yeah, that is it.
That's Jay. Because when I do it back and I'm live on the live streams, I always get like a little bit worried because I feel like our viewers think that we're serious a lot of the time.
Yeah.
And we're not at all.
No, we're just making fun of each other.
Yeah.
The only time I think the one
it's
time
fun.
I generally got kind of annoyed, I was even irritated, was during the whole Jair thing because you weren't listening to me.
Yeah.
Man, hey, my whole thing with the whole Jair thing is we're trying to move the needle toward a championship, not stay stagnant and go backwards. We don't need more holes opening. I get that he's injury prone, and you made a great point, Jay, saying like before we gave him the 4-year extension, he was the most missing player in the NFL still. So I don't get the trajectory of the trust to change from then to now. And then even if he's proven, even if he hasn't played, how valuable he is. The 5 games he played, or 5-6 games he played this season, we won them all, I think, right? Besides one.
I don't remember.
No, we lost one.
Yeah, and then as soon as he got out, we went on a losing streak. Like I get it sucks that he's hurt, but again, he's such a great locker room presence, a culture guy. But his play does it. I don't think Xavier McKinney would have all these interceptions if Jair wasn't there. And as soon as Jair got hurt, McKinney's interception rate dropped. And it's because those quarterbacks weren't going to throw to him. So they'd rather take it in that open middle field. And McKinney excelled in that. I feel like if you let Jair go, you lose that with McKinney. And that's going to make McKinney drop. I still think McKinney's going to be great. That money was worth it all.
Oh, yeah, it was worth the money we paid it.
But I think Jair and McKinney complement each other so well. You let Jair go, you're going to make it harder for McKinney. And then now they have a new thing. And as much as I like Valentine, or if we draft somebody, now you're putting more pressure on this younger guy who has shown he's getting beat sometimes and just not consistent enough.
Yeah, and they won't be able to find anyone that's Jair Alexander.
Oh, no.
Yeah. You don't find, not in the draft, you're not going to find a free agent. Jair Alexander, they're not going to have, they can't match that skill if they grade him. I like, that's what I'm saying. Like, only way I see him leaving, if there's something in the locker room that we don't know about, or it might not be in the locker room, it might be him and Goot aren't vibing. I don't know. I have no reason to think that, but like, if there's not something like that there, then why wouldn't they just keep? Unless that injury, they know a lot more about it than we do.
Well, I heard the Packers wanted him to take pay
Yeah, they
cut.
want to pay cut. They're being cheap.
Yeah,
Yeah,
And then if that's
yeah,
it, then I'm on Jair's side.
and
If I'm
yeah.
being honest,
social
because he's they told him they'll give him the money. He earned it with his Pro Bowls and just being a great player. But then to go back on it, like at least give him this one more year, and then on his final year of his contract, restructure, maybe extend him and give him less money. He's the
Yeah.
one that started the momentum of Pack is back. All what the, he's the reason that the Packer fans weren't doom and gloom.
Yeah, and
He,
I'm always for the players getting their money.
yeah,
oh
It's
yeah,
like
me too.
they,
I'm all about that, but
yeah, because like you don't know what's gonna happen. Like
yeah.
I wouldn't take
another
no
thing.
pay cut.
And the
I
thing
want all
that's
my money.
I want my money
100%
too.
true. That's 100% true. But the thing I guess that made me really grossed out about this whole thing was the way that Packer fans were treating Jair. How
Oh yeah,
fast they
they
turned,
turn quick.
and I think that's what made him go silent. Even though he does this every year, deleting his Instagram, like Giannis does, and then everyone makes
Yeah.
a big deal out of it.
Well,
Yeah,
He does
yeah,
that every year. He does that
yeah,
every
always
year.
pretty cool.
But
Yeah,
that's what hurt me the most. He's our alien. He is our special guy. He does so much for the community. He does the Packers field trip thing all the time, and he's like the only big star who does it. Like he's given so much, and then just for this minor struggles and rumors, and then Packers fans to be like, "All right, get him out then." Like,
yeah.
God,
Social media fans are crazy.
oh yeah, they are.
social
Because
media
like
has,
even like loved players, like even like Aaron Rodgers, like I think he was like one of the most loved players at one point, and now I
Yeah,
mean
I
there's
want
other reasons for that too, but which I won't get into. But like there's fans turn quick,
yeah, but yeah,
which I think is so weird.
yeah, I don't get it, and that's what like a lot of our banter between me and Jay was like, he didn't like that I was pretty talking about the Packers fans, and I get like their reviewers, but I'm like, I want to hold them accountable, like.
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean
You're not a true fan if you're gonna switch on someone that fast, especially until he's not doing something totally outlandish or out here making that like actually like people are like, oh, but he did the heads and tails thing. We're lucky that's all he did was go out to,
Yeah, and that wasn't even that
to
big
the
of a
heads
deal.
and tails.
The heads and tails thing to me wasn't a big of a deal. He broke a rule, so they had to suspend him.
yeah.
I
They
don't
have
think
to do
it
something.
didn't
But that's
shatter that. That didn't shatter that locker. They act like all the players were like devastated, and the coaches were devastated. Yeah, he broke. If you can't, they got to have structure and all that stuff. So I
Yeah,
get that they punished him, but I don't think that locker room was like all like in
no,
shambles
no, yeah.
because he walked
but
on the field.
They made it more. It wasn't that bad, but
yeah.
the media made it more.
Yeah,
But
So
like people in Milwaukee, like every time I talk about Jair, they're like, well, he should have done the whole tip thing. I'm like, the one that was almost 2 years, not 2 years, but it's about to be 2 years. And we've seen so many players on other teams do worse, and they're still on the team. You're telling me the Packers got that overhead of him going out for captains?
yeah, yeah. I don't think it was that big of a deal. People talk about, that they like to, especially people who have to talk for a living. They got to have something to talk about. They can, especially on
yeah,
the radio.
yeah, they do.
I mean,
And
and
that's
I
why I
get
say
it.
it's the
You're
Aaron
gonna talk
Rodgers
about it
effect. There's
if
nothing
you're
there. I gotta make
a
something.
reporter. You're talking about the Packers. A player gets suspended. You're gonna talk about it. You're gonna.
Oh yeah, you guys talk about that stuff.
But it's. I'm not. I was never too worried about it. They handled it. I
Yeah,
don't think he was. And it
I
might
think
have
we'll
been
be good.
him not vibing with the defense coordinator at the time.
Yeah,
Maybe trying
maybe.
to prove a point.
Yeah,
I didn't even think. Yeah, that's actually a good point
yeah.
too.
Joe Barry,
Yeah, he
no
could have been
good.
not liking what was going on there, and it might have been behind the scenes stuff like that. And he was
Hey,
like, "I'm a captain today, boy."
did you? Yeah, well, Campbell when he went to the 49ers said like he lost the locker room at the end of the season, and he said the reason he stopped playing is because they were going to bench him anyways because he wasn't listening to the plays. Joe Barry would tell him to go somewhere, and he would go somewhere else. He's like, I
Yeah,
see the. He said, I remember then he said, I see the line. I see where the play they're going to make. The play that Joe Barry has me going is for a different play and a position where I'm not going to succeed. And he kept butting heads with Joe Barry about that. So he said, and I'm pretty sure it's on YouTube too. You can find it. He said that's why he said Jair did that, was
yeah,
because
it could
it
be.
was a
He was
statement.
just Yeah. He was just trying to. Yeah.
He said, yeah, because he said the locker room was lost. There was no players there, and he did say Jair was the guy uplifting people, telling people to go out there and play for the Packers, mean what that G means, And then as soon as the season's over, what did the Packers do? They fired Joe Barry. They realized
Yeah.
he wasn't it.
Well, he had to go.
He really
Yeah.
did, especially after that Carolina Panther game. that was the.
Oh my God, his defense was horrible.
Yeah, they don't. Yeah, they were so out of place.
But yeah, but anyway, Matt, thank you for doing this.
Yeah, thanks for having me on. This was fun. Good to meet you guys.
Yeah, it's definitely a pleasure, and I love your content and watch your videos. I got to see you not through Tom Grossi, so that's a flex right here.
Yeah. That's awesome. No, I appreciate that. And good luck to you guys and doing this. And go Bucks. You know what I mean?
I appreciate it, man, so much. Thank you.
And
All right.
one more question. Would you like to stream a game with me next year?
Yeah, we can maybe do that. I have to figure out what I'm doing because I'm going to go to a lot more games this year.
Oh,
we
wow,
can figure out a game. Yeah, I got to
right.
figure out my schedule because I want to go to a lot more home games.
Okay.
Packers this year than I did last year, but we can figure something out.
Yeah.
There's always the away games.
Oh, yeah.
There's a lot more games.
And those are expensive on YouTube TV.
They really are.
YouTube TV.
Oh, I guess real quick, one more thing. How do you feel about this is like just a sports thing, but like the streaming platforms? I'm feeling like all these leagues are ruining the casual enjoyment of sports.
Oh yeah, having to like get different streaming services and I think there's another way to stick it to the fan, make us pay for everything. Like you got to have Netflix, you got to have Peacock, and some of them aren't that expensive, but just having to do it, I think it's annoying. I think all sports, I think should be on free TV or like regular channels.
Yeah, because
I think that's what the decline is going to be. Like it was already like sports betting and the league's not keeping the refs accountable. So you have those, and now you have the streaming platforms. I think it's just
it'll turn off the casual fan. Like the diehards are gonna.
For me, last year, if I wanted to watch every single Packers game in the NFL, it cost me $1,200 for just one season.
That's crazy.
That is ridiculous, actually.
Yeah, that's insanity. I don't know. Man. Yeah, I get the local for the Packer games, but now I got YouTube TV because I watch, all the games, Red Zone, all that. I don't even want to know what I'm paying for that. I should probably look.
I probably have to get on that because I'm using the stupid Spectrum streaming box, and I'm delayed, and I live in Wisconsin, so.
Yeah, it sucks being delayed.
Yeah. But that was the thing that I had a question for because you do a lot of online stuff as well, so I was wondering if it was a headache for you too. So
for what? Like
for the streaming stuff, like that's why I asked that. I was like,
yeah,
sorry.
But yeah, no, I was just blacked out for a second there.
You're good.
No, it was good talking with you guys though.
Yeah, thank you so much.
This was dope.
I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Yep, no problem. It was good talking to you guys. We'll talk again.
Yeah, we'll talk again.
Have a good one.
You too.
You too.
Well, guys, that was the interview with Matt. I hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed talking to him. He's a funny dude, and he sounds like a great guy.
Yeah, and I don't know, it was really cool to talk to a content creator that I've been watching for a little bit. So, thank you, Jay, for allowing me to join you on one of your interviews.
No problem. No problem.
It was really dope. Again, I hope you guys enjoyed me and being a part of it. I hope I wasn't too much of a distraction.
Oh, never. Yeah,
you guys know I love doing this. It's giving me a new kind of meaning of life, of something to look forward to every week. So, yeah, so it was just fun.
Oh, yeah. This is the next You guys are not gonna love this, but the next interview I have lined up is with a big Vikings podcaster.
Woo! Just like, just like,
You might hate that, but this Viking podcaster, he loves the Packers too. Every time he does the podcast, there's a lot of Packers fans that comes into his podcast. And I think you guys know who I'm talking about. But if you guys don't, it's the Paul Farrington Show.
I watch him too.
So he's going to be on after the draft. So
That's dope.
Because he's going to be at the draft, covering the draft. So he said he can't do it this week. But after the draft, he has all the time in the world to get. So. And then after that, it might be Tom Gross's dad's interview.
Let's go, Papa Grossi!
So I have a lot of interviews lined up for you guys to watch. I hope you enjoyed it. It looks like you guys enjoyed me interviewing all these other YouTubers. And for me, I'm having fun with it. So.
Also, you still have to post the community post for me.
Yeah, I do. Sorry about that. I couldn't get to it because I was on vacation.
Yeah, no, I knew that's why you didn't. I'm just letting you know, just in case.
Yeah.
So, yeah, you guys.
I'll do that probably this weekend.
Okay, yeah, you guys have an announcement of me starting again. I guess you say it, just another YouTube channel, playing games. But he's gonna post something to ask more questions and see if you guys are interested in stuff. But
you know, like I always end every stream is I think, stay safe, stay positive, and always go Pack, go.
Go Bucks! They're playoffs tomorrow. Let's go.
Yes, it is.
Game 1 at 12 o'clock my Eastern Central time. Sorry, Central time.
All right, guys, you have a great week, and this is going to be out probably Tuesday.
Okay.
But we filmed it on a Friday. All right, guys, you have a great day, and we'll see you later.